Hello, America, and welcome back to my channel. Um, I am here today to, talk about politics and survival guide. That's why my channel is called Maya's Politics and Survival Guide. Um, I need to talk to you, the American people, on how important it is for you to start paying attention to what's going on inside our country. And what is happening is a travesty. Um, most people that watch their local news media stations are not getting their news. I don't rely on them any longer. I rely on certain stations on YouTube that where I get my reliable sources from. Um, they, Midas Touch Network, David Packman, um, Fair and Balance, Brian Tyler Cohen, Jesse Dollamore. These people, not only do they tell you the story, but they actually show you the video of what happened. But you're not seeing any of this. And this is why I think it's important for people to be aware of what is going on inside our country. And what is happening is pretty darn scary right now because we are not getting the supply of food coming into America like we used to. This administration in the White House has pretty much dissolved and tore apart, shredded up all of our relationships with other countries, most other countries, pretty much all of them. They don't want to have anything to do with America or Americans, even though people like myself would not vote for this imbecile that's sitting in the White House, robbing our country financially and destroying our Constitution and our country. See, when you vote for hate and you vote for racism and prejudice against others that are different than you, this is what you get. Nothing. Now, there are certain things you really need to start stocking up on. If you like coffee, as I do, and I'm not worried, I consider myself being damn smart. I read Project 2025. My husband and I, we talked about it, we debated about it, and he kind of questioned where I was going with this. And he said, we didn't really need to stock up. I said, yeah, we do. We better. And I told him, remember this time when you said we don't really need it, you know? I said, you better get it now while it's cheap in price. Well, now he goes to the places to get his supplies, and now they're 3 times the cost. And I told him, I said, you better get it, and you better get extras for backup because these prices don't stay here at this price. It will go up because the less products we have to sell, the higher the prices go. It's going to be supply on demand. And people are now seeing that. Coffee, most Americans are coffee drinkers and tea drinkers. I drink both, and I got a supply like you wouldn't believe. Powdered milk. The reason why I recommend everyone start stocking up on it, especially if you have children and they like milk and they like cereal, and cereal's on the list too. But the thing is, powdered milk you can make just like real milk that you buy in the dairy section of the supermarkets. You just have to read the instructions and follow them. It's not that hard to make, and it literally tastes just like milk. How is it done? Well, you you use the amount of the powdered milk, ice cold water. You're going to give it a good stir with a whisk, not a spoon, a whisk. And then you're going to put it in the refrigerator overnight and let it settle. And then in the morning, you're going to whisk it up again, and you have milk, ice cold milk, without any lumps or clumps or little whatever in it. It's like milk. Most people just want to add it to a glass of water, stir it up, and drink it. That's not how it's done. It literally has to be refrigerator cold for it to work. So now, getting back to other things, which would be cereal. If you have kids and adults love cereal, you better stock up on your favorite cereals. I have begun to notice that the price of cereals are going up. And not only that, the amount of cereal in the package is going down. You've been defrauded, in my opinion, and I think every American should be able to file a class action lawsuit against these companies that are shortchanging you when you buy a food product. They should not be allowed to get away with this stuff. Walmart will have you arrested if you steal something. Why isn't Walmart being arrested for stealing from the consumer? They show a price tag here, but when you get to the register, it rings up differently. That is theft. A lot of people don't notice that 10 cents or 5 cents, but you add up all that change. It adds up to the thousands and millions of dollars every year that Walmart is stealing from the consumers. Why aren't they being arrested for this? Why aren't they being prosecuted for theft? That's my opinion. I think it's wrong. Another thing is honey. Uh, if you like honey, if you like maple syrup, get it. I was at Costco today and they had an 8-ounce bottle of maple syrup, 14.99. No, I can do without it. However, I do go to Walmart, I do go to other grocery stores, and I look around and I find better prices. And I also want you to know that I can actually get log cabin syrup with no fructose corn syrup in it. Now, I know kids, they like pancakes, waffles, those little waffle sticks or whatever, cinnamon sticks, and to dunk into some syrup and eat it. Uh, you know, they like it. It's a fun food for them. Um, you know what? Get get your waffle mixes. I know it's pretty easy if you just use regular flour and some vanilla, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, a little bit of baking soda, and the baking soda will make it rise a little and make it fluffier. But people just rely on those pancake mix boxes. Just add a little water to it, stir it up, and throw it on the griddle. That's how most people do it. I suggest strongly that you learn how to make pancakes from scratch. It's just a few ingredients that you put in a bowl and you get more for your dollar doing it that way than buying a box of pancake mix. Syrup, like I said, log cabin syrup. Uh, I've stocked up on multiple bottles of that stuff because my husband likes his waffles and stuff. I don't eat syrup much because of being labeled pre-diabetic, so I kind of tend to stay away from it. Um, I'll try it a little bit, but not much. Now, another thing I think everyone should do is if you have an upright freezer in a garage, or if you have one down in your basement or inside your home, you should stock up on beef, chicken, pork. See, beef prices are going higher. We're getting less beef. And the beef coming, I think, from Argentina or wherever that Trump made the deal with, that gave that dictator 40 40 billion or 40 million dollars. I forget what it was. But the thing is, they want to send their beef over here and sell it to you. Really? And you don't even know what kind of beef it is. I literally stopped buying beef. I don't trust it. It doesn't look right in the supermarket, especially at Walmart. I purchased an Angus steak for my husband because he wanted one. It wasn't an Angus steak. They're just putting it in an Angus steak package. But that steak was one of the worst I've ever. It was just chewy. It looked good in the package, but after cooking it up, that thing was so chewy, weird looking, and lots of liquid was coming out of it. Even when it was cut, it's like these weird looking fibers are throughout the whole steak. I think it was just a cheap cut that they put in the package, claiming it was an Angus steak. I won't be buying Angus any longer. If you live close to a butcher where you can get fresh meat from them, that's where you should get your meats. You can get logs of bologna. You can get logs of ham, for sandwiches and stuff like that. And get a food slicer or just get a knife out and cut some slices off and toss it back in the fridge. What I do is I cut it all up and I vacuum seal them in bags and I throw them in the freezer and I keep some in the fridge so that we can just make some easy sandwiches and whatnot. However, a lot of people just want to keep going to Walmart or the other grocery stores and just buy whatever meat that they have and think that they're actually getting quality food. You're not. Now, I'm going to go past the meat section and I'm going to go into the next item that you should get: oil, cooking oil. If you have a dark closet, a basement, a storage shed that's dark, somewhere where you can store goods, where no light's going to hit it or affect it, you need to get your oils. If you cannot afford olive oil, go down to the next, which would be avocado, or go down to just using your regular vegetable oil. In my opinion, what I think a lot of people need to start doing, as they used to do back in the olden days, I know because we did it and I do it, is you learn when you cook bacon, you save the bacon grease. I don't know what the thing is where they're saying that bacon grease is just so unhealthy for you. Well, so is the fat on the steak. So is all the fat and chemicals that are in all the other foods you're buying. A little old bacon grease ain't gonna kill you. Trust me, I'm old. My husband, we're in our 70s. We're old. We know. And it hasn't killed us yet. Now, so get a jar, get a lid. And if you cook bacon in a skillet, then you just get a cheesecloth or a really fine mesh thing to sit down in it. And I found one. This is my little tip. I found a package of these mesh sink inserts to catch food from going down into the drain. Well, I I got they came in three different sizes and in the packet. And so I got all three. Two of them, one of them is really small, so it doesn't work for the jar, but the other two are a little, there's a medium size and a larger size. I use those for my jars, and I can literally pour the bacon grease through it and it'll get all the little crumbs or whatever out of it. The other way of doing it, a lot of people like to do, is they just like to get a cheesecloth and lay across it and pour the bacon grease through it and let it drip down into it. But then you have to clean the cheesecloth. I'm old, don't care. I'm doing it my way. So now, bacon grease, save it. Stop wasting money, but you better start stocking up on your oils, cooking oils. You want to stock up on your sugar, flour, and cornmeal. I was just shocked. I went to Costco today. I was going around and I don't know what the thing is with cornmeal. They had none. Walmart had none. So apparently something's happening with the cornmeal in the stores. Now I've gone to Amazon and I found it on there, but it's pretty pricey now. But I'm not seeing it in the stores. At Walmart, the sugar aisle has gotten so small, and the cornmeal flour area is just as small. Not a lot. I remember sugars and stuff and flour would take up half an aisle on one side of a Walmart shelving unit. It's now down to an eighth of that on one length of a aisle in Walmart. It's that small. And so that you really need to start stocking up on. The reason why you need flour and you need sugar and you need oil, and don't forget your oatmeal. The reason why you need these items is that you can bake bread, you can bake cookies, you can bake cakes. And take my word for it, America, a lot of you are going to learn how to cook again instead of eating junk food. Now, powdered sugar, do you need it? Maybe. But if you want to make a cake and you want to make some icing for it, you're going to need some powdered sugar. And you need to get some brown sugar too for your oatmeal and some cinnamon. You want to stock up on spices. Your basic would be salt and pepper. You want to stock up on that. 3 months ago at Costco, the salt and pepper there was $4.99. Today at Costco, it's $8.99. Big jump. I got it when it was $4.99, and I got a supply of Everyone needs to wake up in America. I don't know how many times one needs to be told you need to prepare. This administration in the White House is openly telling you his criminal activities and doing it. He even publicly said he really didn't care about the people. He just said that a week or so ago. He doesn't care if you suffer. However, you better wake up. You better get your act together. Because don't expect your neighbors to come to your aid. Oh, and don't expect your government to come to your aid. Not with this administration. Now, if you have backyards and you have a place to grow fruit trees, you better get started on it because it takes at least 2 to 3 years for it to produce fruit. And it's also going to take time for you to grow your vegetables in your yard. People need to learn to can food at home. The basics would be your pickling, pickles and cucumbers and stuff like that. Uh, Jelly and jams are easy to make. Take my word for it. You just have to grow the fruit. Orange marmalade. Have you seen how high oranges are in the store? Well, if you want to make orange marmalade, you're going to need to buy those things. Now, if you live in a sunny state, you can grow your own oranges if you have a yard. Make some for yourself and sell some to others. There are ways to survive this crisis that we are having in this country right now. And it is up to you to talk to one another. Start being kind to one another. Help one another. I don't know what else I can tell you, America. If you have money in a bank account, excuse me, but if you have money in a bank account, you need to start withdrawing it. You need to have cash on hand because if the system breaks down and banks are forced to close, and we have a serious problem in America right now because so many homes are being foreclosed on and banks are stuck with them. Banks are there to make money, not to lose it. But they use your money to loan. My husband and I, we pay our bills on time every month, and the rest we withdraw. And I'll tell you, if the banks start shutting down, that ATM card you have, it ain't going to work anymore. See, America, you created this monster of a system. Everybody wanted convenience. Everybody wanted fast, quick. Nobody wanted to stand in line and talk to a teller and withdraw cash. Everybody decided to go digital. Very few places accept a check, which is strange. I grew up, everybody wrote a check. Most people I know did not even have a credit card. Now people have credit cards left and right, and they're deep in debt. Oh, and that money has to be paid back, or you're going to have to file bankruptcy. Hmm. And that will be on your record. And that will make it difficult for you to buy a home, to get an apartment, to get a car loan. The system created was designed to fail you. It's known as entrapment. Here, take this credit card. Spend, spend, spend. Oh, it's easy spending it. Problem is, it's harder to pay it back. The rule of thumb in America is if you don't have the cash for it, you don't need it. And if you need it, then you save up for it. As in the series Little House on the Prairie, and I still watch it. I think it was the second episode of the Little House on the Prairie when Laura was just a little girl and she was talking to Mr. Olson, and he wanted to give them a pencil to write on her tablet for school. And they said, nope. She said, my pa always said, cash on the barrel. And that meant if you don't have the money, you don't take a loan. And they put their pennies together to get their pencils to write on their tablets. We are in trouble in America. The Republican Party, Republican farmers, Republican MAGA, idiots. They saw the destruction his administration did during his first term, and then they voted for him a second time. And they have regrets. As we were going to Costco today and to Walmart and a couple of thrift stores, a lot of things have changed in just a week. Here we are, we're approaching June, and there are no crops growing. We drove by so many farm lands and acreages and there was nothing growing. A lot of grass and weeds. That's it. We saw a lot of their equipment for sale. We saw truckers, their trucks parked along the side of the highway with for sale signs on them. Good luck. With diesel prices and fuel prices going sky high, I don't think anybody wants them. I would not want to own a diesel vehicle. Electric bikes industry. Are we getting to go under? So if you have one, get rid of it. Because if you need a replacement battery, oh, you're going to pay dearly for it. They're all made in China. If you need a battery for your Toyota Prius, good luck. They're made in China. We stopped at Hobby Lobby. I call it Hobby Slobby. And I'll do another video on this one. They had all this patriotic garb in their store as you walk in. Just disgusting garbage. 4th of July, 250th United States anniversary. God bless America yard signs. Isn't that nice? I saw one lady over there looking at it, and she saw me looking at the tags. And she asked me something. She says, "Where is this made?" And I said, "Flip over the tag and it'll tell you." Made in China. Made in Indonesia. Made in Taiwan. Even the red, white, and blue sprinkles for your cupcakes are made in China at Hobby Lobby. Isn't that something? So much for the patriotism, Trump. So much that America is so great, but you failed to bring those jobs back. You mean to tell me that Americans can't make sprinkles for cupcakes? Isn't that something? It's all in China. I have nothing against China. I would like to visit there someday. But the yard signs that says America, God bless America, welcome, your napkins, your paper plates, everything made in China. Even the damn flags are made in China. Where the hell is the patriotism in America if all the American products you buy are made in China? So much for the Trump saying, I'm going to bring all these jobs back to America. Haven't seen one yet, but I'll do a video on that. If you do love your country, America, if you love America, don't shop at Hobby Lobby. Don't buy any of these made in China products. If it doesn't say made in America, don't buy it. Amazon's the same way. Everything is made in China pretty much on Amazon. Look at the products you're looking at from China, made in China, made in Taiwan, made in other countries. Hardly anything on Amazon is made in America. Your car parts are not even made in America any longer. Oh, and you better stock up on those oil filters too. And oil, spark plugs, windshield wipers, replacements. Yeah, because all those things are made in another country too. They're not made here. I literally had to search around to find an oil filter because Walmart did not have the oil filters available. And they said they didn't know when they were going to get them in for my husband's car. So we had to drive around to find it. We found one. One. After we got the oil change done, then I went online and I searched and searched and searched. And I finally came across a company that had them. And I ordered 3 of them. We don't drive as much as we do, but I want them. I want them in case we need them. And you should do the same, America. Be smart. Don't go out and buy a bunch of garbage food. You buy the essentials. And don't you forget about your pets. You get that pet food too. You get the flea medication for them in advance. You better make sure you have toothpaste and toothbrushes, mouthwash. If you use eye drops, get yourself some eye drops. And you better make sure you get at least a 3 to 6 month supply of your medication because a lot of your medications come from overseas too. A lot of the truckers that are being laid off will no longer be delivering those medications to your local pharmacies. It will be weeks, possibly months before they get a shipment in. So what they have available is what you're going to get. And heavens forbid if you need something and you go there and they tell you we just don't have it in stock. And then you're running around searching for a medication you can't find. Now, if you're driving your vehicle back and forth to work, I strongly recommend if you're driving to work on the way home, you fill up that gas tank. Don't wait for it to get down to half a tank to a quarter of a tank because as gas prices get higher, you're going to have to pay that high fee to fill it back up. Just top it off when it's just down a gallon or two. That way, you're not having to pay $100 to fill up your tank. Be smart, people. I know not everyone in America is dumb like MAGA and the Trump administration and Trump. Please get prepared. I mean it. And if you don't, and you think, oh, well, we're just talking nonsense, go to the stores. Look at the prices. Look how little you get for $100 at Walmart. Look at the gas prices. Everything is going up. Wake up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, don't go knocking on your neighbor's door and asking for help when you've already been told you need to get your act together and start stocking up on food supplies, non perishables, macaronis, beans, rice, all that stuff, soups, jarred pickles, applesauce, all this stuff you need, especially if you have kids. Good luck, America. Bye bye.